Okay, so today I got this thing running rough. They can't figure out why. It's got new coils and still has the same problem. So I get it, and I see it's low on coolant. So I'm gonna start checking it. Stick around. All right, I put some coolant in it, and I'm gonna take it for a test drive. Okay, so I've been driving it for about 10 minutes, and nothing crazy is happening. It's not overheating. It's not really running that bad. I really don't know what they were complaining about. Somebody had told the owner, a friend of mine, that it was a blown head gasket. It was a little bit low on coolant, but I don't see any other signs of a blown head gasket. It's not mixed with the oil that I see yet. It's really not running rough. It's not overheating. I'm gonna check more into it. Yeah, that'll make it run rough. Okay. That will do that. And that might be part of that. Let's see. Look at that. There, fixed it. Looks like number 2 is misfiring a little bit. So number two does have a misfire. We do have a misfire in cylinder number 2. I mean, it makes a difference, but not as much as the other ones. See, look at that. Bam. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it's a huge difference. All right, let's go see what's on with number 2. Okay, so we get under this cover here, and we see they changed the coils. So I'm guessing this is number 2. I'm gonna verify that. And I can see that, yeah, I guess it's been replaced, but a little bit, I don't know why it looks different than the other ones. But I can see they're missing a bolt there. All right, I'm gonna start just taking it apart and checking. Okay, so I got them all out. Number 2 doesn't look like anything crazy. It looks like all the other ones. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap the plug to a different cylinder and the coil to another cylinder and see if the problem moves. I don't see any issues inside. I don't see anything crazy inside on any of them. So I'm suspecting maybe an injector. I'll maybe run a compression test on it just to make sure. But I'm leaning towards an injector maybe. So I'll get back to you. Okay, so the issue still stays on cylinder number 2, and we change out the coil and the plug. And none of the other cylinders that we put the bad or suspected bad plugs or coil in are acting up. So that tells me that they're fine. So the problem is stuck on cylinder number 2, which I'm suspecting is an injector. I'm gonna run a compression test on it anyways, but I think it might be an injector. So here's a fancy graph showing me that cylinder number 2 is peaking for a misfire. That's nice. Fancy. I can reset the graph and you can see it bounce right back. So it's active. It's happening right now. And here we have the engine is picking up the misfire, causing a code, P0300. All right, here's compression test cylinder number 2. Cylinder number 1. Wow. Wow, that's a big difference. Number 2 had 110. Number 1 had 210. It's a huge difference. Cylinder number 3. Wow. That's a huge difference from 110 on number 2. This is cylinder number 4. Oh yeah. So 1, 3, and 4 are similar. Here's number 2 again. I just want to confirm that low reading. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little bit of oil in cylinder number 2 and see if it helps seal it up a little bit. And that will tell me if it's the rings that are not sealing, or if it's got a leak in one of the valves or something else. All right, this is wet test on cylinder number 2. Let's see if it goes, if it increases. And it does. So that means it's a worn cylinder. It looks like the rings are worn out because it improved with the oil. So, and the oil helps seal the rings up. If it would have been a leak through the valves, the oil wouldn't have sealed it up. So it looks like we got a worn cylinder on number 2. Yep. Good old ecotec. See, that's why I always like to take the time and do the tests, because I was thinking it was an injector. And if I wouldn't have done that compression test, I would have gone through all that trouble swapping injectors or doing whatever. And this way I went straight to the point. You know, I did the compression test and found out it was low on compression. Motor's done. Okay, so that's it for this thing. The owner does not want to fix it right now. Decided just to drive it around as it is, as it still drives fairly well, as you saw. It just has a little bit of a rough idle and a check engine light on. That's it, but this thing will still drive for a good while. But that's it. So they're just gonna drive it to the ground. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching.